Hello again, RoyZesch.REALTOR here with Coldwell Banker Legacy in San Angelo. Today I want to continue my series on healthy living. I want to talk to you about one of my first baby step rules. A couple of caveats is, first off, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a certified nutritionist, and these are my opinions and not Coldwell Banker Legacy. So they're suggestions, they're not medical advice, anything like that. So what I've tried to do with this is try to simplify it in a way that, and try to prioritize it for you, because a lot of what you see when you get into the nutrition and stuff like this, there's a lot of the sky's falling mentalities. Oh, this thing is horrible, and 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 there's an element of truth to all of them. I mean, they all have their negative effects, but it tends to be a bombardment in such a way that you don't know which is worse. I mean, if I just want to do one thing, which is the worst thing that I should take out of my diet or my habits and to change, like that. So tried to do this and kind of walk into it in a certain way. I've tried to do it in what I call baby steps. I stole that from Dave Ramsey. If you looked at his financial teachings, he teaches baby steps to get your financial life in order. Very good stuff. And if you're interested in it, go to DaveRamsey.com and look at Financial Peace University. Some of the books he's got, some really good stuff. So I've tried to kind of take the same approach to it. So I'm going to start with things that are easy, not makes necessarily your tongue won't say they're easy. You still have to change habit patterns, and that will be difficult. But I'm going to begin with things that there's almost no debate about. There's going to be almost no controversy in the early part of this. As I get further into it, there's things that there is going to be more variation. And as I talked about the genetic and hormonal variations that there are in humans. So, the farther you get into this, the less accurate what I'm talking about will be, because there's just more unsettled questions in the science and stuff like that. So I'm going to try to start with things that, when I tell them to you, you're going to say, well, duh, I knew that. Well, yes, but what are you doing about it? So that's what I'm trying to approach it. So number one in the baby steps is cut the crap. Basically, this is a chance to look at the worst parts of your diet, the worst offenders in your diet, and get rid of them. Soft drinks, donuts, fried, most anything that's commercially fried. I mean, there's oils you can use to fry them that are much healthier, but the whole process of deep frying and the oils that are used because they're inexpensive, because they last a long time, this is stuff that almost everyone agrees is bad for you. That's one of the things it's, again, most of you already knew this, but it's what you're doing about it. Watch. I firmly believe that, and you look at the research, I really believe that it bears this out, that sugar in its various forms is one of the biggest hindrances to a good diet, or one of the biggest things that will make you age faster. Contributes obviously to obesity. And as we've tried to, as the U.S. Department of Agriculture with the food pyramid and stuff has made some changes, what's happened is people have taken good fats out of their diet, and they've been replaced to a large extent with sugar. Because when you take fat out of a food, it doesn't taste as good. So if you're a manufacturer selling food, then you can take fat out of it. Well, the simplest way to make it taste good so your customers will keep buying is to add sugar to it. So really, really watch this one. It's a big one, a huge step, and it's one that'll sneak up on you. Learn to read the labels, or just do with water or whatever, the things don't have sugar in them. But it is so sneaky in today's world. If something says low fat, I can almost guarantee you they added sugar to make up for the taste difference. So just be really aware of that. But the big ones, the soft drinks, and whether they're regular or diet. I mean, the artificial sweeteners, they mess with the way your brain processes it. They mess with the way your body burns the calories that come in. It's expecting the calories from the sugar because it tastes sweet to it. It's an integrated system. Your tongue tells your brain, I just drank something sweet. And so you get a lot of the same responses inside your body that you would if you'd actually drank the sweet drink. And so honestly, I'm not totally sure that they're not worse, in fact, than the full sugar versions. Interesting thing, as we're talking about, it's been in today's news with export or imports and some of the tariffs on. One of the reasons that all the soft drink manufacturers and a lot of other things have gone to high fructose corn syrup, which is not even something humans have ever consumed in any great quantity. The reason that happens is because there's a tariff on sugar imports. So that makes sugar a lot more expensive in the United States. And so the manufacturers, in an attempt to keep their prices low, have switched to high fructose corn syrup because it's cheaper than sugar. So it again, if you go to almost the rest of the world and you get a soft drink, it actually has sugar in it instead of high fructose corn syrup. Remember Dublin Dr. Pepper and the drinks? They still make some of those drinks over there, but not Dr. Pepper. They won't let them do that anymore because it tastes too much better than their normal product. So that's one of the things. Another statistic I read recently is that 90% of people's food budget is spent on junk food of some sort or another. And up to 60% of the things that people eat, 60% of people's diet is items that could be purchased in a convenience store. They're that ultra processed, shelf stable type foods. And that's the simplest thing. If the food you're buying, food being a loosely used term in this case, if it came in a package, it was produced in a factory somewhere, it's probably not on the ideal list of things to eat. So that's the kind of stuff. If you could buy it in a convenience store, it's not the thing you want to be the staple of your diet. So just be very aware of that. Cutting the junk out, the sugar, the huge sugar content. A lot of people, if they just gave up soft drinks, could lose pounds every year just by going from soft drinks to something that doesn't have the sugar. If you replace it with Gatorade, you haven't really gained anything. But if you can replace that soft drink with water, unsweetened tea, unsweetened coffee, then that can make a huge difference in the weight process and your health overall. So if that's all you do is do this step, cut the crap out of your diet, then you will make huge gains. It will save you money in this case more than likely. It will make your life more convenient and be better for your body. So it's a win-win-win. Again, as I get farther into the baby steps, there's going to be things that they may cost you more and they may be more difficult than this. This is not difficult, except you've got to convince your brain that it's worth the effort. So anyway, there's baby step one, cut the crap. RoyZesch.REALTOR, 325-268-0775. Thank you.